So we need infrastructure. And this challenge of building infrastructure is exactly the same in Europe. Computing capacities. Okay, if we want to make infrastructure, let's invest. In order to do so, and this is a challenge, by the way, that President Ruto is facing here and fixing, this is the energy challenge. No chance to build any AI infrastructure and computing capacities without energy. So we have to build much more energy facilities, renewables, nuclear, in order to deploy electrification of our common use in Europe, electrification for households and companies in Africa, but in order to build additional capacities and computing capacities, first challenge. And to build foundational models and companies on that. Everything, when we speak about infrastructure, is about sovereignty. And this partnership between Amini, Bull, and Foxconn, for me, is a perfect example of this sovereignty, this common sovereignty story. African, European, and Taiwanese company. All of us have to face this challenge of sovereignty and reducing our dependencies. So it's super smart. So let's rush on infrastructure, and it's true for AI, it's true for payment system, and I want to commend you for what you do with this Pan-African settlement system. I think it's super smart, and you're right to say that you are leading in terms of mobile payment, and we are very proud for Orange and some companies to be part of this game. The second key challenge we have to face together is about talents. In Europe, and especially in France, we do educate and train a lot of talents. Our key challenge is to provide jobs for them and to make sure that they stay and don't move. I have to say I was despaired a few years ago when I saw that so many talents of AI in Silicon Valley were in fact educated in France, data scientists or mathematicians. Now they are starting to come back because we have great leaders and we are building clearly the leadership in Europe of AI and quantum capacities. And it is exactly the same challenge in Africa. And you were right. You have to train more, and I'm super proud of what we are doing here with the investment of the French Agency for Development and the university to build on STEM and AI, new capacities, new partnerships with our best universities. And this is exactly what we want to do through the continent. How to educate and train more and more talents to make sure that they will be trained here in the best education system, with the best partnership, and they will stay and help the country to develop and help the continent to develop. And this is why we will expand these partnerships between our universities and the African universities. We will accelerate this trend of investment. And this is why I want to thank our companies to clearly accompany this work on Orange during this summit. We'll announce, thank you, Christelle, this 50 digital centers. I think this is extremely powerful, with 1 million young African people being trained through this Orange Digital Center by 2030. And a few years ago, we built Digital Africa, whose objective is to connect digital ecosystems. And this is part of this training capacities for your talents, but as well how to make sure that the ecosystem will enlarge and talents will stay. Et le dernier défi pour être pleinement souverain, c'est exactement ce que vous avez dit et ce que vous avez parfaitement décrit l'un et l'autre, c'est-à-dire le narratif. Et on le sait très bien, c'est le vainqueur qui écrit l'histoire. Et tout le travail qu'on est en train de faire, d'ailleurs, on y reviendra dans la journée avec les sessions culturelles et sur les restitutions.
But there's also a contemporary narrative, right? And this can...
En tout cas, s'il n'est pas fait par les Africaines et les Africains, il n'y a aucune chance que cette histoire soit la bonne. Et c'est aussi une question de souveraineté, parce que ce regard, c'est celui qu'on laisse aux générations à venir, c'est celui
This will give you a greater ability to forge ahead. If you have the right narrative, then you will appeal to people who wish to take part. It's about soft power. So it's just as important as infrastructure and talent. You have to have the right narrative, and this narrative enables us to ensure that culture, technology, and the economy are taken as one. However, it's important for this narrative to be written by Africans, and if this is done, then it will have. And that's why I'm extremely impressed by the example.
Remarquable, qui est passé par la culture et par l'économie, mais je suis moi très impressionné par ce que le continent est en train de faire. Et au fond, il y a un panafricanisme positif. J'ai adoré ce que vous avez dit sur la marque, mais on a souvent mis le panafricanisme autour de discours qui étaient très négatifs, revendicatifs, un peu revanchards, un peu anti-ceci ou cela. Il y a un panafricanisme qui est celui de votre génération, qui est positif, qui veut juste conquérir tout, bâtir son continent, soulever ses défis, attirer les investissements du monde entier et dire « Moi, je suis là, j'ai envie de bâtir, j'ai pas envie qu'on m'impose des solutions qui viennent d'ailleurs. Je veux développer mon pays, mon continent et choisir. » Et nous, notre rôle, et je finirai là-dessus, c'est pas de faire de l'aide, c'est juste de dire « Waouh, nous, ça nous plaît, on veut faire ça aussi. » Parce que nous aussi, vous l'avez dit, la France, elle a toujours été comme ça. C'est une nation qui s'est toujours vue comme plus grande qu'elle-même, parfois en faisant des choses qu'on ne ferait plus aujourd'hui, je l'ai dit et répété, mais parce qu'on rêve plus grand, parce qu'on a construit cette histoire pour nous-mêmes. Et moi, c'est ce qui fait qu'il y a deux raisons qui font qu'on a envie d'être avec vous aujourd'hui et que ce sommet est très important pour nous. La première, on veut
our companies and the government of France to invest by your side because you know it will work, and that the African story is a big story, is a great story, and that when you look at Europe and Africa, there is an evidence, and that this fight for sovereignty, technological sovereignty, IT sovereignty, quantum sovereignty is common. If you fail, we do not have any chance. If you fail, your youth will leave Africa and will no longer solve migration. We need you to succeed because it's good for France and Europe. There is a positive story to build. It is incredible for the 21st century that you'll build your story. We will do it also on our end, and we will do it hand in hand. Secondly, we have a common destiny. We have a common destiny. You said something that probably you have a story that wasn't so good. There are millions of young people in France who are from the diaspora as yourself. And for many years we told them, sorry that you are from the diaspora or you come from this particular country and you'd like to be forgotten. No, you are 100% French and 100% from Algeria. You have your dual nationality and we need you because that is a boost for us in France to have young people like you, Marwa, who are Franco-Algerian, Franco-Central African, and who would like to develop the world and conquer further frontiers and who work with us. This is really important for us, so be proud of being member of a diaspora, of being French and of being African. And that's why I'm here, because in my country, and I've told it to my Kenyan counterparts who do not know it much, there are millions of young people who are totally French and totally African. And it's a great honor and luck for their countries. I will stop here, therefore, Madam Moderator, but
builders of this common future. And I'm extremely happy to see how proud and solution-driven you are when you speak about your own future. And this is why I'm here. I am leader of a country who wants to be part of that, who wants to invest here, who is very proud of our own past and future. But this partnership, this balanced, generous, lucid, and equal partnership is precisely how we will frame and build our common future.